Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
I'm a brainless sales associate who gets by because I've got a great rack. With Wing It software, my presentations are 99% fluff and no substance.
Nothing says success in the business world like a slideshow. Nothing says, I know what I'm talking about, than the ability to break down a complex idea into 3 simple points per slide. Order a copy of Wing It today. Wing It presentation software, a 720-degree revolution in business practice every day since 1997. It's a revolution. Prepare to be revolted.
Shut up and sit down.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to a brand new episode of Third Shift. It is episode 445, and I am here today, one of the hosts, Mr. Eric, and with me today, as per usual, is the inglorious bastard himself, Mr. Matt, and I'm telling you what, there's a lot of fun stuff today, a lot of cool little snippets, a lot of news, a lot of fun gaming things happening, but before we get into it, you know the rigmarole. We got to ask Matt how his week was. Matt, how's your week? What'd you do? Let me know.
I think it was a pretty good week. It feels like one of those weeks that I don't remember at all. Like we often talk about on this show. It's just, what'd you do? I don't know. I even forgot that I did St. Patty's Day because that was like past the week threshold in my brain for some reason. But I did the St. Patty's Day with the B Team folks, James, Brian, our buddy Kevin, and it was just cool. Even if it's not like the best St. Patty's Day in the world where everybody's just dying laughing and we're all slapping each other on the back and licking each other's faces. You know, it's just good to hang out with your bros and drink some beers during the daytime. And that's what we did. Played a board game, which was all about drinking beers, drank some beers, watched some shows. Just a good day. Had a great breakfast. It was a chill St. Patty's Day, which isn't bad. Then let's see. I'll skip over the weekend because I'll come back to that when I talk about the video game front. 2 days ago now as we're recording this, went out to Wharton Center for Jazz at the Lincoln Center New Orleans Songbook, I think is what it was called. So a nice jazz showcase. You know, the usual piano, bass, drums, trumpet, saxophone, and trombonist. And then they had 2 vocalists. And it was just cool. It was just a moving and grooving good time. I love going to see jazz shows there at the Wharton Center. But there was a very funny moment. And I'm not telling this story to disparage anybody. I'm going to say that right up front. But they had a male singer and a female singer. And she came out, she had like the big hair, the tight red dress, voice like a songbird. Amazing. She was like a southern lady, you could tell though. And so she was trying to kind of get the crowd into it and say, hey, come on, guys. Sing, hey, yeah, hey, yeah, hey, yeah. At one point she goes, come on, everybody, sing Mardi Gras Mambo. And she has a southern accent. And when you ask me to do something in an accent, that's kind of how I sing it back. Mardi Gras Mambo. And this lady sitting next to me, who was this little lady who I think is probably maybe just a little bit older than us. During that point, Mardi Gras Mambo, I heard the most Midwestern voice come out of this lady. Mardi Gras Mambo. Like if there was a character on a sitcom who said, my cousin's coming into town. She's from the Midwest. She's got kind of an accent, guys. Don't make fun of her. This is what that character would sound like so Midwest. And I'm sure there's people from around the country who are saying, man, you sound like a Midwest idiot. But I don't no, this lady was like the Midwest. It was just a fun moment. I chuckled to myself and I went, this is good. And the rest of the show was great. Moving, grooving, having a good time. On the video game front, steer it back to the weekend because I streamed about 11 hours of Suikoden 1 and 2 over the weekend. Just felt good. It was quiet here the whole weekend. I got in that big old fat stream in the morning and I exported it to the YouTubes, did all the things. And I went, man, I could just go for some more. And I did beat Suikoden 1 remastered, got into Suikoden 2. Those games are just great. And it's like you always say, Eric. Well, you don't say this, but it's related to a thing you say all the time. It's nice to just go through a JRPG and it's like 25 hours. And of those, like maybe an hour and a half was me dorking around to doing stuff. Like no fluff. No, do these little side quests here and there and everywhere. Go gather 15 graboids that have a 1% chance of dropping this. Blah, blah, blah. It was just tight. And granted, the story's not super epic, super amazing. The graphics aren't the best. You know, it's not what you think of with like the grandest RPG, but it's nice to just have a nice tight, great story. I mean, even getting the 108 characters. Bam, bam, bam. Easy peasy. And then you're done in like 25 hours. God, it felt good. And what else felt good was beating Avowed last night, which I did sitting here in my chair, playing it on this beautiful monitor. And I told Eric this off air, so I'll buzz through it a little bit. But towards the end, I just kind of started buzzing through. I had maybe like 4 or 5 side quests left to do in the last main area. And I went, nah, it's time to be done. So I went to that last main area, went and did the big storyline quest, and I went, here's another area. And I went, but this is surely just a storyline area. There's not going to be like monsters and things to fight, right? And the game said, no, you are fighting things, and here's big giant things that you have to beat that are going to take longer to do. And I went, oh, yeah, I'm doing it. And then I went, okay, you did it. You did the thing. You made a choice. You made a thing happen. And I went, all right, cool. Surely this is the end, right? And I went, nope, here's another little mini area with a storyline thing. But it did all the good things. You know, you got to see characters from earlier in the game who you helped or didn't help. Just a nice wrap up of everything. I will say, gosh, I can't spoil it for Eric, but the last boss was very strange. And I'll save it for after, but it was weird. Because the only thing I will say, and this isn't a spoiler, because I talked about those capstone skills last time. Getting them capstone skills for the gunner in the hunter tree. And man, I comboed that with some other skills, and I was unstoppable. Me and my crew, I ran with Kai and Marius through the rest of the game, you know, buffing up their skills too to synergize with my skills. I wouldn't say I was untouchable, but I would say I'm untouchable while actually getting hit with swords sometimes. It was just great. It felt amazing to go from rinky-dink nothing, barely scratching by, to I'm the god of an arquebus. Put an arquebus in my hand and nobody can touch me. Amazing. Well, it was a lot of fun. I'm not going to say like best game ever, but I enjoyed my time with it. Some really good characters, some characters I didn't like so much, some really fun quests, some kind of dorky quests. It was a good experience though. I enjoyed it. Very colorful, very cool. Oh, you got to tell me, did you get to the spot where you have like actual clear pools of water that you're jumping in yet? You have to have gotten to that point, right? No?
I don't think so. I got into zone 3, then I did the basement where you got to go down to the cellar, and then you meet those folks who are studying the the infected folks.
Yep.
I cleared all that up, did that whole storyline, and then I helped the 2 kids whose mom and dad went crazy, finished that little storyline, and now I'm right there. Oh, and then I did some other quest. It was a side quest that ended up getting me finally a legendary frost wand.
Nice.
So I'm finally getting a weapon that I want, that I can buff up and do what I need to do. So that's changed a lot, but that's where I'm at right now. So I've done 3 side quests in that 3rd zone, and so I'm not familiar with any ponds of water or clear water yet.
I'm not really specific. There's one character I know for a side quest you have to go get. He like lives around one, but that was that moment that I think I mentioned like 2 weeks ago where I was just like, whoa, the most beautiful thing. Because most water you jump in, it's all blue and kind of, it's video game water. But there's a couple where you splash in and it's like the most pristine water and all the colors are still popping underneath. And I don't know, maybe it's just me. But when I jumped in, I was like, damn, oh, hell yeah. And then you jump out in some beautiful place and I'm just like, whoa, wonderful, yay. But that's all I did this week. What about you, Eric? What you been doing this week, buddy?
Oh, by gosh, golly. This last week was pretty busy. I was running back and forth, kids doing all sorts of activities, whatnot. So I'm driving here, I'm driving there, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Plans got changed around, but I still got to play some video games. And I played some Monster Hunter Wilds. I got in there, played a little bit with Shay on Sunday, played before that. I am now Monster Hunter rank like 57, so I'm nowhere near where I need to be, but I'm still chugging along. And I'm just fighting these tempered beasts, and I'm trying to get all the gear I need. And the gems, of course. The gems are where it's at, everybody. Trying to find the gems that I need to be a master longsword user. And they're just not coming, because I got bad luck. That's the way it goes. I'm getting every gem I could possibly see or need, except for the ones I want. But that's all right. That's why it's exciting, because you just keep hunting, man. You just keep going. And now I'm to the point where I'm still doing some of these like main quests. I haven't like finished the game. The game's beat, but it kind of continues on afterwards. So I'm pretty much near the end of it, but not quite there. But in the meantime, I just like to do tempered stuff here and there. get the gems, and then they've got this whole new thing where you get these broken pieces that are like different rarities, rarity 8, rarity 7, 6, whatever. And that goes into the artisan blades. And so then with that, it creates this entirely different master class weapon, but it's random. So you got to put these pieces together, and then you're trying to team them up with all the perfect stats that you want, and then go ahead and utilize it. But if it doesn't come out, you want to like reset your game and do it again. It's a whole thing. I haven't really studied up on it real big time yet because I'm just getting to that point. So I'm going to go research that probably this weekend so I can start understanding what I need and what I need to do with that. And hopefully have a lot of fun with it, because next Friday is the update where we get the giant game hub where everybody comes together, plays mini games, hangs out. The festivals are going to start showing up, which is really cool because that gives you a whole onslaught of new cosmetics, things to chase, weapons, etc. Not only that, we get a brand new monster coming up here pretty soon. So very excited for that. It's the Bubble Dragon. Everybody knows the Bubble Dragon. Going to hunt that. Hopefully they do a tempered version of it pretty soon. Either way, a lot of fun. So yeah, been a good time. Monster Hunter Wilds, 50-something hours in already. Not even scratching the end game of it yet. That game's it's just an easy win. Easy win, lots of fun. Can't wait to play it. Always want to do it. Love that game, for sure. And with that being said, I did the thing. Matt beat a game. I beat a game. Silent Hill 2 remake. Put it in the bag this weekend. Got on there. And I was just, oh man, I tell you, I think I told Matt off air, maybe on air. I don't remember. But I put it on, and it just hit that scratch instantly. I was like, oh, yeah, I love video games. Yeah, here we go. Yep. I don't know why, because I kind of didn't play it for like a week or so, and I was kind of feeling like, I don't know what to play, but, kind of getting that whiny mode again. And I was like, well, get on the damn game. Get on Silent Hill. So I popped it on. Oh, boy. It was so nice. It felt perfect. I started just cruising right through that last area of the whole hotel where your wife supposedly was waiting for you all along. And then all the memories were coming back. Really hit right there. Where it's like, oh, yeah, I know it's coming. I remember you're going to get this thing. It's going to do the thing. You get the videotape. Oh, boy. Yep. Hit all the marks. Did all the things. Had a surprise boss that I didn't remember from the old one. And it was fun. It was just neat to see it happen. It didn't terrify me, but it was definitely a surprise for me. And that was really cool to see. And then, even though I remember how the ending went, Matt, which I won't spoil, it felt shitty. Because I remembered it as it, we did it, but I don't want to do this. Oh, we don't have to do it. Can we got to find another way, right? No, there's no other way. So yeah, we did the ending. Still felt bad. I didn't like how it went down. And of course, how it all plays out. It's very, very sad, very, tragic and shitty.
Yeah, seeing that dog pushing the buttons and stuff. That's just a sad ending. That's just a sad
not
one.
The ending. No, that's a different ending,
no.
man. That's a different ending.
Dang.
That is an ending, but it's not the ending. And that's, it's funny you mention that because, I love Silent Hill. I've played a lot of Silent Hills, but I'll admit, I never went back and did all the extra endings and all the bullshit. I went and cheated and just watched them, but I never did it myself. And then the game goes, boop, 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 credits. And then it goes, hey, we've opened up the New Game Plus for you. You can now go through and see a couple extra bonuses that we threw in the game for you, as well as get some different endings and have some fun, maybe. Ha, 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 ha. And I was tempted. I was like, man, I never did that. I never did it. And the game's going, hey, you really should. We got a couple surprises for you, plus the endings, you all love and remember, the extra bonuses. But of course, I'm not going to. I got too many other games to play and things to do. But this time around, I really did feel bad about going ahead and putting it aside and, finally putting it down, putting it away, because the game's fun. The game is great. And I bet if I just beelined it, I could probably whip that sucker out in 8-10 hours. It's a couple solid days of playing. I could probably get another cool ending and then see a couple surprises that they added in. I don't know what that entails, if anything real, but that's what it said in the little, the little big block up that they put up when you beat the game. So who knows? It won't be anytime soon if I do decide to do that, because I got other stuff to do, but it was great. I really enjoyed it. Fantastic job, Bloober. Can't wait to see what they do next. Very excited. And beyond that, it's probably it. That's it. That's all I did. Those 2 games, man.
That's it, except for one thing. One thing, it'll be a quick thing.
Uh-oh.
You always say that I put you down all the time. You know, I talk down about your achievements. But you just did that to me, brother. You went, oh, Matt beat a game, I beat a game. Brother, I beat 2 games this week. I beat 2 games. Come on now.
You beat me again. Beat me again.
I'm not saying it to do that. I'm saying don't disrespect my gaming achievements. I did 2 games.
Yeah, you did technically beat 2 games, but I was just trying to say it.
And speaking about 2 games, we got, if Eric is still staying with the release that's on the show notes, we got 2 Souls-like games we're going to tell you about in the releases this week. One of the big tier, one of a smaller tier, and of course, it's me. I'm the smaller tier guy. I'm going to tell you about a game I don't know how to pronounce. It's either AI Limit or I Limit. I'm not 100% sure, but it came out today as we're recording this on the 27th, developed by Sense Games, published by CE Asia for PC and PS5. And this is, hey, it's Souls-like. I kind of told you that already. It's like an anime Souls-like, kind of in a Nier Automata kind of post-apocalypse, where I think it's something called mud in the game, but some kind of like gray goo has taken over the world. It's destroyed things. Machines are going crazy. There's weird beasts everywhere. And you play as a hunter, an android, who's out to fix things, kill all the bad things. And that's what you do in this game. And you go and you souls and you and you do lots of things. You fight bosses, you fight enemies. This one is a little different, though, from your traditional Souls-like. I mean, you are playing as a pretty anime robot lady. So, I mean, that's nice. That's a good thing. But you are playing like a pre-made character. You are a character, and she does have voice lines and dialogue with other characters around. And I've heard the story is not that great, but I mean, what Souls-like story is super great. I've heard people complain about the environments, that they're kind of dull. And from what I've seen, you are running through industrial areas and kind of Nier Automata type of things where you see scenery off in the background, but you're going up and down catwalks and stairs and all those places you think that robots would be, that you would have to fight with big robots, metal and bricks and all that other stuff. But one of the cool things about this game that I appreciate is it doesn't have a stamina meter, but instead it has this sync bar, which fills up based on how well you play, essentially. If you're dodging things, if you're hitting enemies, your sync bar starts to fill up. And the fuller it gets, I think your damage does go up a little bit, but then it also empowers you to do like your skills and your spells and stuff. So it's sort of like I'm not even going to say it's like stamina bar. One of the reviews I watched Noisy Pixel and Gaming Bolt review, and one of them said, yeah, it's kind of your stamina bar, but it's more of like your MP bar. But what I appreciate, and especially watching some of the gameplay footage of this, and I think I watched Iron Pineapple do the demo of this in one of his series like months ago. There's not that like, oh, I got 3 swings in, I can't do another swing because I have no stamina. This looks like a fun, not like super action based, like anime style hack and slash like Devil May Cry, but it has that feel. It has more of that feel than a traditional plodding around Souls-like feel. And I don't know, people were ragging on the environments and the vibe and stuff, but I think it looks fun. It looks cool. Like, I like that anime style. I like that in a Souls-like. It's a sci-fi Souls-like, which we don't see that many of. Post-apocalypse, we've kind of seen that before, but, robots and technology in a Souls-like, in a faster Souls-like fashion, because you can dodge infinitely. You can run infinitely because there's no stamina bar. And I don't know, it just looks like a lot of fun. The only other bad thing that I've heard negative, quote, I'm going to say quote fingers negative about this, is that some of the reviews I've seen have said, well, if you are super diehard Mr. Souls-like McGee, this is probably going to be too easy for you because there's not the stamina. There's not a weight system either. You can plug in your chips and all your abilities, and you don't have to worry about fat rolling everywhere. Oh, one of the other cool things is you can have 2 weapons at once. Like, not at once, but you have 2 loadouts you can swap between on the fly instead of going into your menu and switch. And also, that's another cool thing. Man, I'm so good at this, like, just talking about crap thing. You can go into your menu, you can pause the game in here because there's no online anything. There's no nothing. So when you pause the game in the middle of these big old boss fights and go, oh my God, I just need a moment for myself, the human, to breathe, it just pauses the game. It's not like Souls and Elden Ring and all those other things where, the menu comes up, but the action's still going, so you can just die. It's like a more streamlined, I don't want to say easier because I haven't played it myself. And I've seen that some of these bosses are doing crazy attacks. And if you watch the Gaming Bolt review, that person does not play very well, so you can see people getting rocked by some of these enemies. It is a Souls-like. I've heard it's like an easier bent, though, so if you are a newbie to Souls-likes, maybe start with this one. If you are into Souls-likes but not super hardcore like Eric and I, maybe check this one out. It's also on the middling tier as far as price goes. I think its base price at launch is $35. And on Steam right now, as usual, there's like a launch discount, so you can get it for just over $30. So if you want a possibly easier Souls-like with some cool vibes, like a cool atmosphere and different takes on the Souls-like formula, check out AI Limit or iLimit. Not sure which one it is, but it piqued my interest. And since Eric's probably going to talk about a Souls-like, I figured I'd talk about a Souls-like. You get two different flavors, or he's not going to talk about it, and then my whole thing is ruined.
It's not ruined, Matt, because you are right. I'm talking about Souls-like 2.
Yay.
It is a wonderful game that's got me so mixed. It's insane. I don't know what to do. It's the first Berserker Khazan. It is out March 27th. That's today as we're recording. It's out on all the stuff except for, of course, Switch. You should know this. Developed by Neeple, published by Nexon. And I'll tell you what, me and Matt both played that demo. Matt thought it was the cat's meow. He really enjoyed it. He's told you about it already. I was hoping to dig it, but unfortunately, I didn't like the save system. When you screwed up, you went back way too far for my liking. I didn't enjoy that part. I did enjoy the combat. I did enjoy the graphics. I did enjoy the meaty weight of the battling and whatnot. I just didn't like that if you screwed the pooch, you had to redo too much. It was, I got kids. I got no time. I've already talked about it. However, I will say this. This game has that really cool, gritty, anime berserk like feel to it. Like if you've ever seen the comics or the show Berserk, this game took that and went to town with it. All right, and it is phenomenal. I think it looks absolutely gorgeous. Just fantastic looking gameplay, fantastic looking environments. And now what this all is, all right, Khazan, he's a crazy man. Him and his old mage buddy, they used to do awesome stuff. They beat this like god emperor dragon, and they did it all in the name of their emperor and their land and their people. Well, the emperor got mad because Khazan and his old mage buddy got all the attention. Everybody loved them. They thought they should be the kings. Well, the emperor said, screw that noise. I'll show them who's and what's what. So they did something with the mage. I don't know. The game will probably explain what happens with the mage. I have no idea. However, Khazan, I do know, he got tortured. He got tortured and tortured and tortured left and right. He got, of course, blamed for all the bad things, betrayed completely by his emperor. Completely, Matt. And then he was on his way to finally be killed, quartered off, doing all the bad things. He escaped and encountered this wonderful little Blade Phantom dude. Blade goes, hey, man, I want to like do all sorts of crazy stuff, you know, let me have you. And he goes, no, I got my own agenda. And then they made a contract. They worked together to accomplish revenge. Matt, it's a whole story about revenge. And of course, this is a Souls-like game, as Matt already told you it was. But it's not like your typical Souls. It's not like Dark Souls and whatnot. It's more along the lines of, from what I hear, like Sekiro with some bits of the Stellar Blade in there, et cetera, et cetera. So you don't get that like clunky doosh, one hit. No, you're getting combos in here. You're doing all sorts of cool parry, dodge attacks. You're kind of flying around. But that's dependent on what weapon you're using, because this whole game's based off 3 different weapon systems. You got the long arm, the pole arm, whatever you want to call it. You've got your big great sword, pachow. And then you got your like dual blades type thing going on. And of course, with all those, you get a whole different skill tree that allows you to just divest into those and get those skills up and pick and choose. Because what I really love about this kind of skill tree, it's not, it's not original or anything, but I just like it. Every time there's a new skill, it shows you like a picture of what it is, what it's doing, and how it operates. And then you can go in and test it and, check it out and see for yourself how it works. Very, very cool. I really like that because it allows you to just kind of go, oh, yeah, that fits my style. Getting in there and doing like a double jab and then a quick spin. Or if you're like, oh, nope, that allows me to back out of trouble. I do like a hit and a flip backwards. Yep, I definitely need that. Yeah. Backing out of trouble. Yep. Matt knows what I'm talking about. So yeah, you get that. Really cool, really neat. But on top of it all, while you're fighting these baddies, and like I said, you got to dodge, parry, you got to do all those things. You need to learn their attacks, because if you don't, you will get smoked. This game is not a just hack and slash like a Devil May Cry, and it's a little more involved than like a Stellar Blade. I beat Stellar Blade, and I played the demo of this, and they're not the same. Yes, you do more combos, and yes, you're doing more hack and slash than you would in an Elden Ring, but no, you are definitely not able just to kind of fly around doing all sorts of cool stuff, and basically you'll get through it. You will get beat up if you do not learn the bad guys' combos And I will tell you this from the review in progress from Kind of Funny I heard, and from the review that I watched completely from Fextra Life, you got to pay attention to bosses. You got to learn their moves, and you have to accomplish what's asked of you. You have to block when blocking is necessary. You have to parry when parrying is necessary. You have to hit when the time is right to hit. And if you don't, you will die. There's kind of no negotiation room. You have to learn that fight, and you have to do what's asked of you. There's no cheating. No, I'll just overcome it. And if I just hit them and fly around 50 times, I'm going to win. From what I hear, that is not the case here. You do have to watch and listen and learn. So that kind of, if that's not your jam, I'm warning you now, from what I've heard and read, that is the kind of boss fights you're going to be engaging with. But from what I hear, those boss fights are awesome. All the big bosses look incredible, very stylistic, very individualistic with their attacks and what they're doing. All very cool. I really enjoyed watching the review. I really enjoyed the demo, except for the save spots. Just a wonderful game. I really think I would play this if it was in another world, and that world might exist, because let me also tell you something, Matt, and I didn't know this, but apparently there's a story mode in this game. So I can turn it down and just be easy mode bagoons, and I could just win my battles and just have a fun time getting my revenge on that shitty emperor who screwed me over, and then learning that Phantom Blade's probably not good, because I just can't imagine it's going to end great for you with this weird demonic entity that's giving you powers in exchange for God knows what. But I'd be willing to see for myself, especially with the really cool environments and the nice linear paths you go on, so you don't really got to worry about, did I miss something? All this is there. What a cool title, man. I'm telling you.
I got a couple things here. I mean, things you're talking about make me want to go back to AI Limit, because there's a couple things I forgot to mention, but I'm not going to do that. But I'm going to ask you, Eric, you didn't mention the most important thing. You didn't mention the most important thing.
There's probably something I missed. Yep.
How does this fit into the Dungeon and Fighter canon? How does it fit into the storyline? Because we all know Dungeon and Fighter. Everybody knows what that is. Nobody has any idea what that is.
I have no idea. I already told Matt I had no flipping clue what they were talking about.
And I watched some reviews of this too, because I was going to do it as a review before I saw that you had it picked. And the Gaming Bolt review was all about Dungeon and Fighter, and I didn't understand. I will say, if you watch Gaming Bolt reviews of either of these two games, watch them on mute. Don't watch the gameplay. They were terrible at this game too. But they made all the good points and all the things you talked about. But the other thing that I'm trying super hard not to forget, and that's why I just keep talking, and I won't let you have a word in edgewise. I don't even read the manga. I'm familiar with it, but I haven't read it. I haven't watched the animes. I'm familiar with them. I know what happens in them. But how has nobody made a literal Berserk Souls-like yet? How is that not real? Like you said, this is totally like it. And I'm like, that would be the perfect Souls-like. It would be sort of Sekiro style, because you would just have the one big sword.
The one big sword.
But he's got the stuff with his robot arm, his mechanical arm. You can have all kinds of other side weapons, side things like that.
He doesn't get that till later though, man. I mean, so you want to tell the OG story, you want to go post the Bad News Bears.
Why not just do it all? Why not do it all? That's true. He gets that when he's like the Black Knight type of big.
Yes.
Well, but see, like there's so much horrible, awful monsters and creatures and things to draw from. That would be like the ultimate Souls-like. Just go through Guts' horrible life and all the bad crap he's got to go through. Why has nobody made that yet? They made the beat 'em ups, which I mean they're fine because you're cutting through like a million enemies. But man, Berserk the Souls-like, everybody would love that.
That would be perfect. That is a great idea. Who knows why? Maybe they just don't think it's relevant enough anymore. I don't know. Do the kids not know what Berserk is? Possible.
There's a bunch of content creators I follow who talk about it like it's the holy grail of any piece of media ever. So people still they're younger than me is also the point that I'm saying. So people still love it. I know the creator just passed recently and
a year or two ago, I think.
Yeah, and those guys aren't big fans of what's happening next. So why not relive the glory days with Berserk Guts' Souls-like adventure? I don't know. That'd be perfect.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's make it. Let's get going. From Software. How about you do it? Or what's that other Blue Point? What have you been doing? Was that them?
What about like the Neo team? They could do it. No, we want you.
Who did Strangers in Paradise? Let's get them on board.
I was gonna say we need something like AAA tier, like really good. I was gonna say Neo, but I don't. The graphics on those are just terrible. I tried a couple of them and they just weren't cutting the scratch. But anyway, man, if you want to go from tearing your hair out in AI Limit and the first Berserker and thinking about blood and guts and murder and death with guts and Berserk and all the great things, maybe you're going to also want to go over to Epic and pick up Cat Quest. Then you're going to want to pick up Neko Ghost Jump. Everybody knows Cat Quest because Cat Quest 3 was revealed and launched not too long ago, and then we got Cat Quest 2 free on one of these services. Now you have the actual first one. You can go from 1 to 3 all the way through. Neko Ghost Jump, in the 1/2 second that I saw of a screenshot of that before I hit add to library, it looked like a 3D platformer. I saw like a 3D cat. That's all I know. But there's 2 wholesome, lovable kitty games to get you out of this dark, depressing, horrifying mood.
Souls like craziness, exactly. And then you can go to Amazon free games. You can also pick up Deus Ex, Invisible War. Everybody knows Deus Ex. This is a great series, great titles. I don't know why they stopped making them. It's a shame. It really is. I know my brother, like, for years, just pushed me to play these things. And I even downloaded them and, whatnot. But never got past a couple hours in them. I don't know why. Just never did. But I encourage you for free to go at least check this out and have a good time. Because with that, you get Game Deck Definitive Edition. I have no idea what this is. I have no idea. Game Deck Definitive Edition. I don't know. Let's see. If I had to take a guess, I would say that you are a game developer and you're given a dev box for this wonderful system that you got, and it's going to give you all sorts of really cool tools and items you can make your own little 8-bit goofy games with. And the Definitive Edition is, of course, going to add on all sorts of wonderful things to add to those goofy little 8-bit games you're making for this cool game-making company, etc. That's what it's about. That sounds great. We're going to go with that.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Let's build a zoo. Everybody knows what it is.
I don't know what that's about. What's that about, Eric? Is that... Oh, no, I got it. This is it. This is how I've never heard of it. This is how they disguised it. This is the Berserk Souls-like. Let's build a zoo. Let's build a zoo of corpses in the wake of my murderous
and
rampage.
Demons.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. The Eclipse? No. I'm building a zoo out of you, all of you in the Eclipse.
Out of you and all of you. So Centipede-like, but crazier.
Yeah.
That's fine. Or it might just be about you opening up a zoo and you have to place all the cool little, attractions where they are and where they belong. I mean,
maybe, I guess.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe that's what's going on. But guess what? You can also get Session, Skate Sim. Self-explanatory, people. Skate Sim. I think it gave it away. You want a really cool, kind of weird skate sim? Play this. You're waiting for Tony Hawk 4 remake or whatever the hell that remake is that's coming out pretty soon. This is it.
No, you're waiting for that other skating game where you're the demon made of glass and paint, but that still hasn't come out. What's up with Devolver Digital? When's that coming out?
I heard it still exists. I can tell you that much. That's all I know. I heard it still exists and it's still coming. What's the title of that game, Matt? You remember?
I forgot, but they have been posting on Blue Sky about it.
Sad Glass. Sad Glass.
It's not
Skater?
Sad Glass. I'm 100% sure of that one.
Broken Glass Man Skater. Broken Glass. Oh man, I don't remember.
Hang on.
It's on the tip of my tongue.
I'm coming.
It's coming. What about a stained glass man? Devil's got the glass in your hand. Skating so you don't break because you're glass.
They didn't say it. They just posted videos. Oh no,
man! How are we supposed to know what the game is?
Skate Story. It's called Skate Story. The most simple flipping name, and I had to look it up for 25 minutes, and I cut out all the stuff we talked about. It's now an hour deeper into the show because I took so long to look it up.
It's fantastic, and you know what? With that, you also get the Forgotten City. It's probably about a forgotten city. It's probably spooky. It's probably weird. We're probably trying to figure out why it's a forgotten city.
This is one I actually do know. This was one that was like an Oblivion mod back in the day, and then they made it into a real life thing. I think it's about a city it's either going through a time loop or it's like been forgotten by time and is stuck in a time loop. So you're going and solving mysteries and solving puzzles, all kind of stuff. I know we've talked about it like a couple months ago.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Always heard really good stuff about it. So if you didn't get it before, get it now. You got it before because you're a smart person. You did it, but now get it on Amazon also.
Indeed. And last but not least, you got the Wisby Mystery. This sounded like it. This sounded like it, man.
It sounds like it. It's got to be, right?
Was it? I don't know, man. I didn't look, but it sounded like it. I was going to hope that you didn't research it, and I was just going to assume it is because the Wisby Mystery sounds just like the game we need and the game we want. And it totally is.
Hope alert! Finally!
Yes!
God, good.
For patience, there comes rewards, and we got it. That's going to give you all you need. You don't need the other games. Go get the Wisby Mystery and have yourself a damn good time, let me tell you.
And speaking about games you can have a damn good time with, I'm going to give you the Xbox games and PlayStation games you can have a good time with. If you're on the Game Pass, you can go get the Blizzard Arcade Collection. I should have done my due diligence and seen what was in here, because I know Blizzard made a lot of cool like action games back in the day. I have no idea what's in this collection. You can also go and get on the Game Pass, but I thought this was free to play, the finals. So I don't know if you're getting like weapon and skin pack. You're also getting Naraka Blade Point, which I think is also free. So maybe packs in that. I don't know. There's a Smite 2 preview. So I'm guessing you're unlocking champions and doing stuff because that game's free to play, isn't it? But then you're also getting Atomfall, which I think is the like British style Fallout game. You know, post-apocalypse, you're in the British, you're doing the British things, governor, all those kinds of things. So there's an actual proper game. No, I mean, not that the other games aren't proper, but they're free to plays to some extent, as far as I know. And then the PlayStation Plus games for April for the peasant tier, the bum tier, like Eric and I. You're getting a bunch of good games here. You're getting RoboCop Rogue City, which I've played one stream of, and it was pretty fun. Dead or Alive, you're coming with me, as they say. You're getting the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which is that, I think it's asymmetric multiplayer, where 4 of you play as survivors and 1 of you plays as Leatherface.
Yeah.
Kind of a Dead by Daylight type of a situation. And then you're getting Digimon Story, Cyber Sleuth, Hacker's Memory, which, hey, I don't know Digimon, I don't play Digimon.
How do you not know Digimon? Did you not grow up with Digimon, Matt? Did you not get into Digimon?
I was too old for the Pokemon and the Digimon trains, brother.
See, remember, I had a younger brother, so I was in. I got on board. I got on board the Digimon and the Pokemon, and I'll tell you what, I loved some Digimon. You know, I was too old for it. But you know what? When the younger brother's watching, you got some time. What else you going to do, right? There's only one TV. We're poor. We got one TV in the house. Ain't got nothing better to do. So, yeah. You know, I always think about it, man. I go, should I get on this game? Should I get in this little back on the Digimon thing? Maybe it'd be like some cool nostalgia, like reignite something in my brain, and I'd get that dopamine, and I'd feel happy. I don't know. Just saying.
Well, see, we're going to revisit this, should I get into this thing that I was never a part of, later in the episode. But I will say, I've heard good stuff about like the Cyber Sleuth games. If you are a Digimon person, I think these are pretty good. They're like turn-based RPGs. So this is the sequel to the first one, which I think I heard good stuff about. And I've always heard good stuff about Digimon. They go through such crazy digilutions or whatever because they don't have to like evolve. They just become weirder and crazier and cooler. But I don't know. Hey, 3 great games. Go check them out on the PS Plus. Check out the Game Pass games, the Amazon free games, the Epic games. Check out our releases. Check out all the things we've been playing this week. I don't know. Check us out. Like, check us out in real life, you know?
Yeah, sure. Go do that. But while you're doing that, also head on over. You know what? A little article on Vice popped up the other week, well, at the end of the last week or whatever you want to call it, and a user scrambled phase discovered that P4RE.jp was registered and trademarked or whatever you want to call it by the old Atlas boys. And you know what that means, everybody? Maybe, possibly, because guess what? 2 years ago, they did the same exact thing, but it was P3RE.jp. And then a couple months later, they announced Persona 3 Remake was a thing and it was coming out, so get excited. All of a sudden, they've just done the same thing, but PR4, or not PR4, P4RE. So everybody's going, holy shit, are we seriously about to get a Persona 4 Remake? And it makes perfect sense to me. I think it's a no-brainer. You're going to do Persona 4, and then eventually you're going to do Persona 2 and get everybody on board with that one, because I hear that was a decent one too, but it was kind of before the prime time of Persona series. And I got excited, because I would love to play a remake of Persona 4. Do I have to have one? No. I think Persona 4 Gold was really good, and I had a great time with it as it was, but I would sure as hell play Persona 4 Remake. And then the reason I mention this is because now everybody's in an uproar, man. Where's Persona 6? Are you seriously going to do 2 freaking remakes before you even announce Persona 6? This is insane. How long are we going to go? 10 years, 15 years before the next mainline Persona? And everyone's like, all right, I don't know what to think. I really love Persona 4, but it was a great game on its own. I don't need it. I want to play the next Persona. No, I want one. And it's a whole hullabaloo everybody's been talking about all week. It's been a whole exciting thing. Regardless of where you stand on it, I can't wait. And it also makes sense because Atlas already had told us a while back that they got several games coming out this year, and we have no idea what they are. So everyone's like, well, I mean, what? It ain't Persona 6. Spoiler, let me tell you that. It's not going to be Persona 6. But it could be a Persona 4 remake. Because you know what? You already had the guts and everything when you did the Persona 3 remake. You kind of just insert Persona 4 and you got the same thing, except obviously new story. I think it's doable. It's possible. And everyone's stoked about it, Matt. What about you?
I definitely don't think it's coming out this year, but I'm kind of two minds about it, but more leaning towards the hell yeah, I'm excited. Because hell yeah, Persona 4 Golden, which I played, was amazing. An amazing time. And there are a couple of video essays I watched, like when I'm in the shower, making dinner or whatever. And in the background, some of those creators use like Persona 4 music. And when they stop talking for a second and I hear, a little bit of Signs of Love or whatever it is, I'm just like, oh, dude. It just takes me back. It just hits that like summer vacation type of vibe in your head. So I would absolutely love this. My only, not concern, but my only like feel weird about it is, I played Persona 4 Golden on this little screen about this size, and everyone was like not bobbleheads, but they had like the little, not chibi, but they had that they had that look of a Vita game.
Right.
Yeah. Or the PlayStation 2 game. How are they gonna they're gonna look awesome. Before I can even say it, they're gonna look awesome if it is remade in the new Persona style. But that's not what Yosuke looks like, brother. That's not what Chie looks like. That's not what Kanji looks like. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna mess with my head a little bit.
I'll get used to it. Because yes, you're right. They had a particular style and a particular look on the old Vita. But I'll tell you what, if I get to play them on this Mamba Jamma monitor right here,
oh yeah,
and it's cleaned up and looking sharp, and they've updated all the dungeons to be actual dungeons and in the Persona 5 style instead. Whoo! And here's the thing, that's easy to do because Persona 4 was the first real one where they actually changed the dungeons, so you had themes to your dungeons. Now all I got to do is add the Persona 5 magic, just with already what was there in the themes of the dungeons, and you're talking sky's the limit. Who knows? It's going to look great.
Now, obviously, that would be the most ideal. I think you can still get away with just the themed and make them random like they were in Persona 3, because you know me, if I'm playing Persona, I'm just playing that combat system. I'm fighting every single thing. As soon as I go in, I'm going, well, I'm saving here, guys. And then off air, I'm going up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, because I'm a crazy person. Obviously, if they extra idealize it and make it the Persona 5 way, that would be the best. I don't think they specifically need to do that, though. But man, just like you said, playing it on this beautiful monitor with those colors, because those colors popped like a mother on the Vita, which was, again, this freaking small. I'm making hand gestures nobody can see, and I'm exaggerating it to make it look even smaller. But if you blow that up here, I will watch that intro movie nonstop all the time with the colors, the big old circles going woo, woo, and everybody dancing and doing the things. Woo! Oh, baby. I want to see Teddy on this big screen.
Oh, I want to be in Junes, baby. Everybody loves Junes. Oh,
every day is great at your Junes.
That's right. My little sister. Oh, I miss you so much. We'll see if it's true. Hopefully it is.
Hopefully.
So we don't know if that one's happening, Matt. Hopefully it is. Maybe it is. We'll see. Time will tell. But I do know one thing that is for sure happening now. It started off as a rumor, but it's an actual fact, and the site's back up and running. Game Informer is officially back, folks, and it's backed by Gunzilla. So there's a tiny bit of controversy in that. But overwhelmingly, happiness has had to be by all the peoples because everyone wanted Game Informer to stick around. GameStop didn't like that idea, shut them down. But they're back, Matt, with every single individual that was with the team prior to the dismantling of it. All of them are back, and they'd been cooking in the background because at the site, everything's up and running. All the cool stuff's happening.
And that's just what I was going to say. They came back the right way. Instead of doing like everybody else does all throughout history, like, we're back, guys. All right, what's on your site? The We're Back posts. All right, give us a few months and we'll have stuff going. No, they're dropping everybody's Game of the Year list that you didn't get to see because the site got shut down and all the magazines got burned and everybody got set on fire. Hey, here's every single person's Game of the Year tier list. Bing, 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 bing. Here's an article about this. Here's an article about that. Here's bing, 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 bing. They did it right. Now, have I gone through the whole website? No, because I saw the website on my phone here and I didn't feel like reading a million things. Plus, it was at lunch when I found this out. But as sad as we were when Game Informer closed the doors, I'm just glad to see him back. And I want to see another print magazine in my hand because I don't know if I've said it on the podcast, but I went and looked. There's like 3 gaming magazines that exist in the world right now. And most of them are at least every 2 months, if not like twice to 3 times a year. So if I can get a little monthly little magazine in my hands again, I'll never stop. I'll never let it go. I'll never not sign up for that. That's going to happen for sure for me from now on, as long as they do it again, which they said they're going to.
It's official. They are going to have the magazine come back. They didn't say what way, shape, or form. They just said they're going to be doing a couple new things with it to try to invigorate and renew the love of the magazine. I don't know what that means, but I will definitely be on board as well. Cannot wait to see it. And like you said, I was super stoked to see that they had the site revived, but not only that, with everything happening. I went on there just today, and article after article. Then, of course, they're already dropping the newest articles, so they've already got coverage on the Nintendo Direct, which we also watched too, so we'll be talking about that in just a minute, folks. But they did too, and they had their thoughts on it. It's great. It's cool to see that they just popped in like it had never happened, and they're all swinging for the freaking, I don't know, they're swinging for the stars. Not only that, not all their back episodes, but like 100 and something episodes or magazines from the prior days are available for you to look at free right now. You can just go check out whatever you want, read through them, check. It's awesome. So good on you, Game Informer. Welcome back. Hopefully it's good news. There's the mild controversy that Gunzilla is now their parent company, and Gunzilla develops and makes games. They are involved with NFTs, and they have an open, whatever, microtransaction type game that's out in the wild right now. So some folks are like, oh my goodness, are they going to have to kind of like speak good on these people, or is there going to be an issue with this? And I get it, but let's wait and see how they handle it before we cast any kind of stones. Give them the benefit of the doubt first.
I don't think it's an issue because I've never heard of Gunzilla in my fucking life, let alone anything they've ever made or done. So, hey, sounds good to me. And like you said, they're coming back swinging for the fences. Their Blue Sky account has been blowing up with stories and articles from everything. Like I followed them and was like, oh, just like we talked about with the website. It'll be a month or so before they get their feet on there. No. Every single thing, every single showcase, just like the Dreamhaven showcase. It went live a couple days ago, I think. And this is, Eric knows more than me, but this is an ex-Blizzard CEO, the guy behind all the shenanigans.
It's the big dog, Morhaime.
Yeah. So he's made his own little games publishing and development area. And I'm not here to yuck anybody's yum. The guy seemed like a nice guy. Hope his team and everybody does well. And everybody loves the games that they're putting out. There's only one that tickled my fancy, though, and that was called Wildgate. That was that looting and shooting in space where there's like 5 different ships, 20 players, 4 on each ship, and you're delving into like asteroids and space stations and things to get loot, taking them back to your ship, trying to get out through the gate, but other players are trying to do that to you. We saw people like jetpacking out of their ship, blowing holes in the other ship, and jumping in to steal their stuff, to shut down their engines, to self-destruct them. This is a game I'll never be able to play, because I don't have friends and we don't play games, but this looked awesome. This looked like my kind of game. Like if you had a squad of 4 dudes that you love to play games with, this would be a ton of fun. I love the graphical style, I love the sci-fi setting. Just looked great. Looked really cool and fun.
Well, Matt, I'm in the same boat. I love Morhaime as well, don't get me wrong. But what I love him for is, obviously being the big dog of Blizzard back in the day, and of course, helping to create and make World of Warcraft what it was, Diablo what it was. That's what I know him for, but of course he left years and years ago because he wasn't on the board with the old Bobby Kotick or whatever his name is. So he moved on, and I definitely checked it out, but like you, the only game that interested me was Wildgate as well. The other 3, not so much. There was a mech game in there. There was a board game that you play with friends,
cool.
which was kind of cool and neat, but we don't have friends. We don't have friends who are going to go online and play a game like that. So I just don't ever see myself playing it. Like you, Wildgate was the only one that really got me going because I love Sea of Thieves. And this was kind of like Sea of Thieves, but in space, where you're going after this artifact. You got the different teams, 4 different teams, I believe it is in this map, going after it. It's procedurally generated. You never know where it's going to be. And in the meantime, you got to get your fuel up. You got to get your ammo up. You got to get your guns and ships, shields, etc. going and rock and rolling. All this you got to do as a team. And of course, while you're doing this, you got to find other treasures that upgrade your ship and whatnot. And you got to do it while avoiding or, hey, possibly going after the other teams that are doing the very same thing you are. And then get that artifact and then get the hell out of Dodge. But as Matt already said, all sorts of shenanigans ensue from that. Boarding your ship, killing everybody, trying to dodge and juke all the different guns getting shot at you, betrayals, friendships. It's all there. It looked really cool. The graphics really reminded me of an old MMO, WildStar. It kind of gave me that vibe. If you know what that is, you know what I'm talking about. If not, though, hey, just seemed pretty colorful, pretty fun. Definitely one to watch. So if you didn't see that one, like Matt, I also recommend going and taking a peek.
You should also go and take a peek at the Nintendo Direct, which happens today, like at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. They were showing off some games, some things, a new little way of getting your Nintendo fix on the daily. I'm going to jump in with things I know Eric will not mention, he won't care about. One is Ports of Monument Valley 1, 2, and 3. I don't play mobile games, but the Monument Valley 1 and 2, I don't think I ever played 3. Those games are awesome. Like puzzle, like taking advantage of perspective and things and twisting things to make, you be able to walk upside down on this thing. It's hard to explain. If you've ever played Monument Valley 1 or 2, you know. So those are very cool. Another one that I thought was cool, they didn't show off too much of it, but Marvel Cosmic Invasion, that 2D beat 'em up, it's coming out like at holiday time, so we'll forget about it 18 times before then. But that took me right back to those Ninja Turtle days, those Captain America and the Avengers beat 'em up style, beautiful pixel art. They had like a tag team. You could pick 2 different heroes and swap between them on the fly, and then obviously co-op and all the other stuff. It took me back to those X-Men beat 'em up days. Like, what more could you want?
Yeah, that one did look a lot of fun, really cool. But of course, that would just be probably a night or two playthrough if I ever did get to that one. But I won't say it's bad. It looked really damn good. Shadow Labyrinth, Matt. That really weird one that involves Puck, Pac-Man, whatever you want to call him, and you got the other little dude who's dressed in black. And it's a Metroidvania type looking game, but it has a really cool dynamic where you can take control of Puck and, access your typical like Pac-Man environments and go across the walls, collecting the pods and eating up bad guys. But then you can also go back to the weird little kid who's dressed in all in black and utilize Puck to then like consume giant monsters and gain different abilities. All the meanwhile, like I said, a Metroidvania type adventure game. You're going through all these different areas, looking for whatever the hell it is you're doing in this really dark, bizarre game. I don't know if I'm going to buy it, but I'm definitely going to keep watching this one. I said this when we saw the initial trailer for it, and this one did the same for me. It kept me in that same vibe. Like, this might be good. This might be really cool. So I'm going to pay attention to it. And then one other quickbee is, of course, one I've already mentioned before, the Dragon Quest remakes of 1 and 2. I'm a little disappointed. They didn't give a date. They've already showed and told us that it's coming, man, like a couple times now. I thought for sure this time we were going to get an actual date for its release. We did not. They just said it's this year, 2025. We're going to get Dragon Quest 1, Dragon Quest 2, which, of course, we already got Dragon Quest 3, which is the prelude to those two, and I can't wait for them. I am still playing Dragon Quest 3 right now, loving it. Forgot that it's a lot of grinding, but I don't mind grinding, so it's not like a big deal, but holy moly, it's a grinding game, so be prepared for that. But it looks absolutely gorgeous, and the music and the monsters, the artwork, everything is phenomenal, so very cool.
You didn't mention the most important thing, Eric.
Uh-oh.
Shadow Labyrinth did get a release date, July 18th. And I was sad when they showed it because I was like, oh, look, I've seen this already. But like you said, showing Puck on the top of the ceiling, eating the dots, and then the other big, like, giant monster you could shapeshift into to do big damage to big bosses. They showed off more here than what they did before, and it looked really cool. I'm also on board with that. More things that I'm on board with. No sleep for Konami Date from AI, the Somnium Files. Okay, now everybody knows, or if you don't know, I'm telling you right now, I own collector's editions of both AI, the Somnium Files games. I have had no time to play any of them. But what I'm very excited about this game in particular with is those are kind of visual novelty, like you're jumping into people's dreams and figuring out things that happened. This one in particular looked a lot more puzzly because you're diving into the mind of an idol who is in some kind of escape game. And that put me in mind of the creator's chops with 999, with the Nonary games. That's what those games were all about. Very strange situation, and you have to solve very intense puzzles to progress the story and get onto more advanced things. So this got me all up in the 999 and Nonary games type of a mode. I was slathering myself up with all the good things, and I went, oh yeah, this was coming out July 25th. So I have 4 months to beat both Somnium Files games, which will not happen. But this one looked like it tickled a little bit of a different fancy, so I'm all about it.
Outstanding. The last game I am interested in, besides the main event, the main reason why the world is changing, and I'm so happy, is Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. They showed another little cool trailer for this. This time, some gameplay of you actually on this brand new world, checking it out, the monsters that you're going to be facing up against, the mysteries. Samus has a new psychic, power that she gets to utilize, but they didn't really showcase what it's going to all entail. They said, just look forward to hearing more about it. They did not give a date on its release. They just said 2025 once again, but that's because, Matt, I suspect next week when we get the Switch 2 big announcement, I think that's where they're going to drop the release date for Metroid Prime 4, because they're going to announce that it's also on Switch 2 with boosted graphics, boosted performance, blah, 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 so on and so forth. I loved Metroid Prime series back in the day, played the hell out of them. We'll definitely be playing this one. That's a no-brainer. And that's kind of just cements the fact that I'm probably going to have to get a Switch 2, Matt. I mean, I know I just said I probably wasn't going to, but now I have to. I got to play Prime. I mean, I can't not play Prime.
Forget about that and go play 2 rhythm games, because I know you're all about rhythm. You can play Patapon 1 and 2 Replay. These were games that were on the PSP, and I think that didn't they just announce like a spiritual successor to this series in one of these showcases? I know I've seen something that looked exactly like Patapon, but it wasn't it. But hey, here's remasters of the first 2 games. I never got a chance to play these. I've always been interested in them. And then, cool baby, the trailer started off terrible. It started off terrible with like Microsoft Sam type of a voice reading off dialogue. But man, when I got to see Rhythm Heaven Groove getting shown off, man, those Rhythm Heaven games are badass. They are, if you are a rhythm gamer, if you like musical games, if you like anything like that, you got to play Rhythm Heaven. So to see another one, to see the little lineup of the ring, bing, 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 and oh God, it's just so much fun. It's so satisfying. It's so good. Those are the last 2 I wanted to mention. And then we're going on to the game changer, the Nintendo Today app.
No.
It's going to change your life. You're going to log in and you're going to go, hey.
It's neat. I'll give you that. I'm not.
To be fair, they said after the Switch 2 Direct, you're going to get daily news and stories about the Switch 2 in that app. Mm-hmm. So I already downloaded it just because it'll give me something to look at work. And be like, oh, Is there a news story for me? Nah. But hey, look, I got a cute little animation of Super Mario running, or Isabelle opening the door and saying, hey, it's the 27th today. I like it. It's cool.
Yeah, it's a cool app. Definitely neat. I'll get it as well. So I'm not yucking it at all. That's not it, man. You know what the big deal is. It's actually a big deal. And it's just like Nintendo to drop this in the middle of a random third party, basically direct out of nowhere. Virtual game cards on Nintendo Switch is coming next week. I think it is, or no, late April. Sorry, not next week. Late April is when this sucker's releasing. And what's this mean? It means you no longer will have to have the physical card to share your game. And not only that, but if you have the family group plan, you'll be able to send not only on 2 systems, utilize a digital game as it is your own. So just boom, transfer it over. Now you're playing it on a different Switch. Transfer back, you're playing on a different Switch. No huss, no fuss. And then they went, but also, if you got like 5 members of your family and you got the group plan going, you can lend them whatever game you want that you own. So I'll be able to take my, in their, Super Mario Wonder, and I'll be able to go, all right, Elaine, boop, here you go. And then for 2 weeks, they can play it, do anything they want with it, and then it automatically returns back to my Switch. No questions asked. And then you know what? I can just give it out again if she wasn't finished. Because 1 game at a time is, 2-week period going as long as you want. It doesn't matter. So it's just over and over again. It's so great. It's perfect because I don't like physical games anymore. I don't want to buy physical games anymore. I want to be digital, but digital pisses me off because then I can't give the girls can't share their games between their Switches. I can't play the games. It's a whole mess. And Nintendo just fixed it. And that's crazy. PlayStation and Xbox better 100% get their shit together and have this implemented within the next few weeks. Like 100%. I'm hoping to see it. Doubt it's going to happen that fast, but they at least better implement this by the end of the year because to me, this is a complete game changer because right now I've got all the personas. Girls can't play them because on my PlayStation card, it's just mine. Got to buy it again if you want Fire Girl 16 to play it. No, I want them to be able to play it just like this. This is a fantastic way to do it. I was so excited to see it. It got me very excited for the future.
To be fair, this isn't for me.
Yeah.
I'm one man. I will never share my games with anybody. Even if you came over, I was like, no, brother, get out of my house. You ain't sharing my games. Plus, I am not a physical only gamer, but I'm a physical primarily gamer on the Switch anyway. But even that, I wrote down, not sure what's up with this initially. And then by the end of the presentation, I wrote down the words, okay, that's cool. So, I mean, it's cool. It's not for me. I'll never use it, but it's cool for people who can use it. Just like you said, kind of loaning the games out between the girls so they don't have to come and go, Daddy, where's the cart? Give me your Switch. Give me your Switch. No, just bloop. All right, it's on your Switch now for 14 days. Don't bug me for 2 weeks. Get away. Get out of my house. Boom.
Mm-hmm. That's 100% what it's all about. And it just would also just allow me to let them play games that they weren't like. And then for the last thing I'll say is, like, for example, Elaine has a couple of her Pokemon games mainly played on my main Switch. Well, there they are, stuck on my Switch, not her Switch. This would allow her to take her stuff and put it right on her Switch, and away we go. No problem. She doesn't have to use my Switch, bug me about anything. She gets to play her stuff on her own Switch with the save data she had, because she could just transfer it right over to her own. Really cool. It's great for families and whatnot. Yeah, for you, not really a big deal, but it's definitely a game changer for people that share and or families.
So speaking of game changers, there's so many other game changers in there in that Nintendo Direct we didn't even talk about. I'm sure some of you people are some Tomodachi Life mother effers, and you were excited about that weird ass trailer that they dropped. I know there's people who love the Devil Summoner game, which I didn't even mention. I was going to mention it because it's an action RPG in like the Persona style world. Anyway, all of that to say, if you saw more stuff that you want to talk to us about in that Nintendo Direct or the Dreamhaven Showcase or anything else, drop us a line, just like you can drop us the answer. There's my segue to Uncle Matt's Trivia Corner. If you remember last week's question, which literally everybody got right, in which game does the player control Zagreus in his attempts to escape the underworld that is Hades? Now for the next question. In what year did the Nintendo Wii launch?
The 2005? 2005?
You missed it.
No.
It's too late. It's too late.
No,
you already said it
you
twice.
Didn't give me no time.
You said it twice, and I let you sit there and stew on it.
Because it could have been 2005, because I only had 3 months left before it was when I got home from the Marine Corps, and I bought it at home because I had to work at Walmart when I did it, and then got off work and waited in line.
You were close.
No, I had it. You did not give me enough time on that. You were quick to prove me wrong.
You sat there for 45 minutes going,
that was literally 6 seconds.
2000. And you said it twice. You said it twice.
No,
you gave me two answers.
I'm gonna be like the count. I get all the time I want. This ain't it.
But you said answers. You can sit there and think all you want, but you can't say 2000, 2005.
No, I didn't say that's
the.
I didn't say
2005.
That's my answer, Matt. I just went 2005. 2005.
Yeah, you said it twice.
And then you went, nope, that's not it. I gotta say that's my answer. 2005. All right.
Yeah, Mr. Caveats over here. Caveats Jones, everybody. I'm going to take away all his points. He's going to have no points by the end of this. So everybody,
I will legitimately say that one was kind of bogus. All right, just saying for the record, a little bogus.
Yeah, okay. Hey, everybody out there.
You just told me the week before that I got time, and now you're saying I'm a shithead who said an answer. Come on.
That's because you said two answers. You said the same answer twice. You didn't say.
It's still in questioning mode. I was like 2005, 2005.
Well, every answer you give me is in questioning mode. He goes, is it Hades? I gave you that one. So fuck you. You don't get this one.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did. You said that in a questioning mode too. Anyway, everybody, if you know the answer to that question, or if you got mailbag questions, comments, concerns, if you just want to say hi, drop that to us via the email thirdshiftme@gmail.com, on the Twitter machine at thirdshiftme. Find us on Facebook under Third Shift, hit the Discord, the Patreon. If I'm streaming, hit up a stream. That's the only places you can find us. Don't find us anywhere else.
Indeed, you can find us there, or you can find us over on the old Patreon. Little tip jar, $1, $2, all the different bucks. Anything helps us out, keeps the lights on, bills paid, things happening here for the show. We appreciate it very, very much. If you can't do that, though, you can support us on all the other ways, like mailbag questions, like the Discord. Go hang out over there, have some fun conversations. Go over to Twitch, throw your Prime membership our way or money there. Who knows? Whatever floats your boat, you go do it. Or go give us some 5-star ratings on the old Apple Podcasts or on the old Spotify. Or if there's anywhere else we don't even know about that does that, go do it. It helps us out, and we appreciate it.
And of course, you can listen to the very next episode, which will be dropping on around the 1st of April. That's no joke, because we got to record it early. You're on regular, normal front shift, though, right?
No, I just got moved to frickin' second shift.
I thought I heard Crystal say second shift. So you'll be listening to that sometime in the next week. It's a crazy week. It's quarter end week for Eric. It's a million shows week for me. You'll see a show at some point. It might just be me. It might just be Eric. It might just be like a 5-second clip of this Piranha Plant amiibo just going, it's third shift, sucker. I don't know. But you'll hear it on iTunes and Stitcher, on Podbean, on Spotify, and on YouTube. And as I always say, hey, if you like what we're doing, like to help us out, please give us a like, a rating, review, a comment, subscription, any kind of good thing on any of those good services, because it does help us out. And we really do appreciate it. Yeah.
Indeed, we do. And with that, hey, get out there, do some 5 stars or something. All right? Maybe. Who knows? Enjoy. And until next time,
there's nothing else to say but
don't forget to
say.
Shut up and sit down.